321, 321. Hey, what's everybody? You're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. It is, I think it's it is Wednesday. Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. A couple minutes after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. We are broadcasting today on YouTube, our Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. So if you're out there, say hello in the comments, hit like and subscribe. If you're watching this on the replay, please say hello in the comments. We'll get back to you shortly. Man. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing safe. Tonight on the program, let me try to get this up there, right there. Yeah, writer, illustrator, Keith Finch with Morphodroids, man. We talked about that yesterday. We talked about earlier this week. A lot of you big shot Transformers guys couldn't remember who they were until I had to show you the commercial for it. Yeah. We got Keith Finch. He's behind the campaign. It's a Kickstarter going on right now. It's live, and I got to tell you straight off the bat, I got to see it. I got to see it offhand, and it kicked ass. It was really good. It was really good. Well, we're gonna have him on in a little bit, and he's gonna talk about how much he loves comics and how much he loves Morphodroids and how much Morphodroids is gonna take over the world and all that jazz. So you know how we do here. But yeah, we got him coming up, so stick around. Also coming up, here's a little bit of news for the channel. So the studio's almost done. We don't have live guests in here yet because, we're still waiting on the couches from China to get here. But we're still working on it. But this weekend, Saturday, that's why you got to hit the notification bell because sometimes last minute thing happens and I go live. And this Saturday, we're covering local here at the Tidewater Horror Convention. Tidewater Horror Convention. Yeah, man, in our own backyard. So we're going to be doing our interviews. We're going to be doing our lives, because Halloween's coming. And you know what that means. Halloween's my birthday. So definitely check it out. That's this weekend. And Saturday night, we're going to go be checking out Goth Circus Night Market, featuring performances. You can see I don't know what's that called. Some crazy ass exotic stuff. But we're going shopping and we're going to check it out. And that's Saturday. So definitely check it out Saturday. We got Saturday in the morning. We're going to be checking out the horror convention. And Saturday evening, we're going to Goth Circus Night Market. So a lot of stuff coming up. Also coming up later on. Let me just go to that. So this is a big announcement we got going on for the channel. I love doing audio stories, right? I love doing audio stories. So I'm going to do a challenge. I'm doing a challenge, and my goal is the 757 Hustle Show 31 screens. Yeah. So each day for 31 days, you're going to hear a horror audio story, a scary story, or just a nice little audio story. You wake up in the morning, starting October, I think we need to bring back that spooky, not horror, like, I can't pay the bills. I'm talking about like, spooky stuff, and we got a pop culture related. So I'll give you a little spoiler. Like, let's say in the first week, I already got lined up. There's gonna be some sort of a Venom Spider-Man horror story. I think there's a Clark Kent one. I don't know. I've been working on stuff. So definitely check that out. That's coming up, and that's gonna be 31 days straight. That's the 757 Hustle Show, 31 screens. Yeah, definitely going to have fun with that. I love Halloween. It's my birthday. Speaking of birthdays, open invitation. So I don't want to hear, hey, man, you didn't let me know. Coming in October, more details to come. I'm celebrating my 50th birthday back in New York City at the Hard Rock Hotel on the roof bar. That's right. And you're all invited. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to hanging out with you. Looking forward for another 5 decades of rocking and rolling and running my mouth on a microphone. That's why I got that pretty logo right there. So am I a Mets fan or a Yankee fan? Find out. All right. We've been enough plugs. I think that's the last one. Let me see. Got anything else coming up there? No, that's the last one. So definitely check it out. A lot of stuff coming up on the channel. My name is George. You're watching the 757 Hustle Show. And coming up next, we have our guest. You got to check this out. Let me bring up something real quick. Later on tonight, Later on tonight, I will be giving away this sucker right here, and this is our guest is part of this. So we'll be giving away this later on tonight. So definitely come on out. All you got to do is watch. Morphodroids. What are Morphodroids? Robots in disguise, guardians, defenders, renegades. I mean, what are Morphodroids? I don't know. Sectars, Roboforce. I don't know. Well, let's go into the reaction chamber and let's see what we're talking about. Here's don't go nowhere. This is a 1-minute video, a little over a minute, and it's gonna tell you what it is. And then we're gonna bring our guest. All right. Hey, you're watching 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. Check this out.
That transformed into vehicles.
All right. There's some serious stuff going on there. All right, everybody. Now it's time. Folks, make some noise for my man over here waiting backstage like a maniac. Keith Finch, everybody. What are Morphodroids, man? I'm just going to straight off, man. Just shoot off the bat, man. Let everybody know what Morphodroids are.
They can be multiple things. So they started out as like there were a lot of toys that came out in the wake of Transformers and GoBots in the mid 80s. Converters, there was all kinds of them. That was kind of the genesis for what Morphodroids were. What it is now, it's a new comic series that takes those original toys and kind of flips it on its head a little bit. Within the mythos of the story, the toy itself, I don't want to give away too much of the story, but it does act as kind of a conduit to a bigger power. So when certain individuals come in contact with a toy and a third thing that I'm not going to really give away.
Spoilers. No spoilers here. Yeah. Not yet. We got to kick in a couple of bucks to get the story.
The Morphodroids are reawakened. That's kind of the gist of that part of the story. If you go deeper, it's not really in this first issue extensively, but a part of the storyline that I'm really excited about eventually getting to is the concept that Morphodroids and their ilk have been part of ancient astronaut. They've been influencing human evolution and development on Earth for millennia. So there's definitely a sci-fi bent to this beyond what you might expect from albeit a Transformers or GoBots type story.
Awesome. And okay, so that's Morphodroids, right? When we got the premise, right? They're a product from the 80s. I mean, they're characters from the 80s.
Yep.
Now they're reawakened, and we find out why they've been reawakened and who has reawakened them, right? Am I correct?
That's you awesome. Got it.
Okay. I read. I don't just look at covers. I read, and I just got to tell you. So, how this is a comic book, right? We're doing a comic book.
Correct.
All right. How many pages are in this comic book?
So the current book has 96 pages plus the 4-page cover, so 100 pages worth of content in this book. And this is my first.
I was scrolling. Yeah, I was scrolling. I'm like, oh, this keeps going. Oh, this keeps going. Oh, there's more stuff. Oh, there's more stuff.
Yeah, this is my first kind of project that I've been leading like this, and the dynamics of a self-published book are such that it's really a game that you can't compete directly with Marvel and DC on the stands, from a price point perspective. Just the economies of scale are not there. So my approach with this was, okay, if I'm going to ask for a premium dollar amount, I want to give a premium amount of value to the reader. So there's 30 pages of content. That's the comic book itself. And then on top of that, you've got a lot of information about the toys themselves, character profiles for all the characters in the book.
I said on my live stream, it reminded me of GI Joe Battle of Order. You know, like the old, you would see the dossiers and the bios and their power strengths. I was digging it. I'm like, man, this like took me back. You know.
Yeah, and as a creator, those kinds of things they're really important to have that as kind of you're building out the Bible for this universe, so that you understand, these aren't just plastic things that have no power set or characteristics behind them. They all are unique, and they all, have different skills, strengths, weaknesses, and what have you. And it just, those kinds of things, I always dug them. I was a official handbook of the Marvel Universe guy.
For the kids at home who don't know, before the internet, that was our Wikipedia for Marvel, for comic books, and DC had theirs also. That's Transformers had their, it was on the Marvel. G.I. Joe had theirs on the Marvel, but that was our Wikipedia back in the day.
And as a kid who grew up without, a lot, those were like, you got a lot of bang for your buck, because you were getting all of this information about characters you have never heard of. And it really unlocked a lot for me as a kid. So the hope was, we get these things out into the world. Maybe some parents read the book with their kid, and it kind of they can create their own stories just based on those character profiles.
That's awesome. And how long has comic books always been a thing for you?
I would say yes. So growing up, my parents were really young when I was born, and my dad was, in his late teens when I came around. So at that time, Conan the Barbarian was still really popular as a comic book, and he stuck with Conan the Barbarian for the bulk of my childhood. The original Bernie Wrightson and Lynn Wein Swamp Thing series, that was another that he read regularly. So even, before I could read or was aware of me engaging with comics, they were around. They were part of my early childhood.
Oops, did I lose you?
I mentioned it in other things. Did you lose me?
There you cut out and are you there? Let me see. You froze up on me.
Am I here?
You did it.
I'm here.
The Transformers people are trying to mess with this. But you're moving now. That's awesome. So okay. So what gets you into writing and illustrating? Like, what gets you? Let me fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
In the new Morphodroids universe, are you God? Are you the head writer? You know what I'm saying? Are you?
I mean, I would never call myself God, but I know,
you know what I mean. You're the creator.
This is my idea. Yeah. You didn't ask, but I can kind of tell you the origin of how we got from these kind of random toys to this project, and I can talk from that.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Definitely. That's definitely a key moment.
Yeah. So, it was during COVID, and like a lot of us, you're at home, you try to catch up on things that you put to the wayside. One of those things I had is, kind of going through my comic collection, putting new bags and boards, kind of that thing. And I just kept seeing this ad for the toys show up on, and I'm like, what are these things?
Yeah.
I was the perfect age to have seen them, to have been familiar with them. I never saw them. I've never heard anybody talk about them. So naturally, deep down a rabbit hole ago, And
It's always like that. Yeah. 100%. I did this. I took the same path, man. The minute. So Keith reached out to us, and I read his email, and I was just like he said it, just like what he said. I was like, more for what? I was like, more for what? And then I clicked on the picture, and I saw the picture, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. And then when I saw the commercial, I was like, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, I had these. And then it was just like bringing up the memory banks. Hey, you're watching 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. I see Pierre Kelly's in the comments. What's up, my man, Pierre Kelly? Thanks for stopping by. We're speaking with Keith Finch. He is with us talking about the Relaunch, the campaign, the Kickstarter that's out now, Morphodroids. It's a comic book. And we're talking about, right, you're COVID, you're locked in, and then what? You saw the commercial, you saw the comic book ad.
I saw the comic book ad.
You saw the comic book ad? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I go down the rabbit hole and I'm like, if I could find the person who kind of came up with these toys originally, what could I do with this? So step one was finding the person who had created the toys and would know, all about them. And as luck would have
How hard was that? Was it like a long process, or?
I wouldn't say long. I mean, there wasn't a lot of information to be had. A lot of it was just, hey, I found these random toys at a flea market. Aren't these kind of weird and wonky? There was a lot of message board posts like that. But I did find there was actually some legal papers that were filed with the company who created the toys. That led to the name of the person who led that company, which led to one message board post where he was responding in something Morphodroids related. So, from there, you kind of fire off an email, hope and a prayer that one, it's the actual person, and two, they actually read it, and three, that they're actually willing to respond. But
they responded. They responded.
And
you know what they say where I come from? Fuck yeah, hell yeah, they responded. Good for you. So they respond. Okay, so what's the next move? You're like, hey man, I got an idea. This is what I want to do.
Pretty much, and then I've had some people ask, is this in public domain? Kind of what was that situation? Honestly, ethically, once I found the person who had the ownership, that was irrelevant. I feel like the person who created it, they should have some skin regardless of, what a lawyer might say. So we worked out a licensing agreement that if we, make a certain percentage over, our expenses, that they would get a small piece of the pie. But honestly,
were they excited? Were they excited? Like, oh shit, somebody came to talk to me about Morphodroids. Did he have a house just with like 200, like thousands of these everywhere?
No, actually, I don't think he had any of the toys. What he did have were some documents from the company, which it was things like sales sheets that would have went to retailers with, their wholesale pricing. He had a videotape, a VHS tape of the commercial, which at that time was not online. I could find no evidence of the commercial anywhere online. So those are kinds of things that I was geeking out on, that, we're getting a peek behind the curtain of.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I said on the live stream the other night, I was like, you got Coca-Cola, you got Pepsi, and then every town has their other third soda.
Yeah.
In New York, it was RC Cola. So it's like it doesn't. And I made a joke the other day. It's like you might not know of, but this could have been a treasure to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was. I think fandoms always have their niches. There's always somebody, like, you said, hey, I remember having these. I remember playing with these. It unlocked something in you that even for a brief moment, it transported you back to being, 9, 10, 11 years old. Okay, well,
Poor with broken toys.
well, and honestly, that was my upbringing too. You've looked at the book, so it opens up in a junkyard that sits next to a trailer park.
Yeah,
So I grew up in a trailer park. There were a lot of weekends I spent in junkyards with my dad while he's looking for parts for, his truck. So the story really, a lot of it's kind of semi-autobiographical in a way. But yeah, the actual getting back to how the comic came together.
So yeah, okay. So they agree. Hey, whatever. If you make it big, give me my chunk. So what do you do? Like, have you ever done anything like this before?
So I've done a couple of little, we had a small comics co-op here. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga. That's a personal family thing. Chattanooga.
And I'd done, an anthology, a little 8-page story in that. I've done lettering and, some design work on a couple of other projects. The year prior, last year we put out a book called Death Slinger from Cosmic Lion Productions, which, was in comic shops and all of that. So that was a lot of fun. But as far as like taking something from the seed of an idea through to execution, this was the first time.
How excited were you once you got the okay?
Very. I mean, because honestly, it was a challenge. It was a creative challenge for me. That okay.
Did you present the whole plan already, or like the whole story, or you just like, hey, I just want to reboot this?
No, it was the original pitch was very much. It was smaller in scope, not only in page count, but also in like the story. It was just, I would say, probably a quarter of what the final product ended up being. And you're in a creative situation here. You're working with somebody who is the licensor. They've got some input, even though this has kind of been a dormant property. They bring their ideas to the table, and I tried to work in as many of those that has made sense for.
Is there something you can remember offhand? Something that says you can't do this, and we need to have this. Is there any like?
No, that wasn't.
You have to make.
No, that wasn't the vibe at all. It was more or less, hey, I also have this idea of taking this path, which would have taken the story in a very different direction. But I found a way to take, I think what was the underlying kind of theme of an industrial espionage thing and work that into the story that I had already kind of planned to put out.
Do they have the people behind this? Do they? I don't recall. Do they have other products out there also, or?
They did do other toys. I am not. I don't consider myself an expert, but they originally were putting out like porcelain dolls. That was their primary product, and then
Holly was it Holly?
Well, I don't even know if they had brand names, to be honest. But
you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. We're hanging out with Keith Finch. We're talking about the relaunch. The Kickstarter is live right now. Morphodroids, check it out. Real quickly, it's a 1980s product that was robots that transformed and pew 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 and all that stuff. And they're back. They're back, and it keeps here, man. If you're watching this on a replay, please say hello in the comments. Don't forget. When is this Kickstarter over? How much time you got left?
So it's we started it a week ago, and it ends Friday, October the 3rd, 2025. If you're catching this in the far-flung future at midnight Eastern time, so we've got a few weeks.
Awesome. So I'm going to bring up the Kickstarter right now. I'm going to put it on screen. What I wanted to ask, well, we'll go through it right here. I lost I lost my tile. Where's my tile? There it is. You. All right. Let's take it from the top. Morphodroids, #1 deluxe edition, Forgotten Robot Warrior returns. Lost in the Transformers and GoBot Shadow, Morphodroids were more than simple toys. Now their secrets explode onto the page. Full service comics, first grade 20 back. So 20 back means you've heard 20 you've had over 20 projects backed already.
That means I have personally backed.
Okay, so there you go. So you back other projects also. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. So we're looking for this amount right here. So I'm gonna put this. I forgot to put this in the description. I'll put this in the description with the second we get off. I'll try to drop it in the. Let me drop it in the. Hold on. Look at me ad-libbing live, but I'll drop it in the comments shortly. But yeah, man. So Morphodroids, then and now. I've played the commercial many times. We saw it earlier on the broadcast, but here's the video of the original one. I'll just play a quick clip right there. So I was live and I was talking about the Morphodroid we're going to give away later, and somebody was like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And I'm like, "Hey man, this was 40 years ago. You guys are paying $300 for a Bumblebee and Optimus Prime that does the same thing. Yeah, he talks and transfer. He's got a couple of extra gears, but he basically does the same stuff." Yeah. And this was 1980. This was 1985, man. The guy was literally, the car is driving and transforms and stands up and then starts trying to walk. But yeah, man. And if you remember this, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that was really, I think, the unique thing that these toys had. It was limited as far as the actual transforming goes, but it's kind of cool that they'll stand up on their own. If you're a kid and you're 10 years old and it's 1985, that's
for 1985, and it had a long wire. The remote control had a long ass wire. It wasn't like you only like a foot or anything like that.
Right.
So yeah, for 1985, for maybe I was 9 years old, 10 years old or whatever, maybe younger. Totally, I would have been totally like, I need this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. The one I picked up over here. I'm like, it's still got the original tape on it and everything. And I'm like, I might want to keep this for myself. But yeah, man. So this is really cool. So what's even cooler? Look at this. This is #1, right? The cover for issue #1.
That's correct.
And who's this on the cover right here?
So this is the main character in issue 1. His name's Sagos. Yeah, and this
is he our hero?
He is a hero, and credit where credit's due. This artwork's by Ryan Miller. Did a great job on this watercolor cover.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I've been using this to promote the show tonight. It looks sharp, man. Even the inside coloring artwork and everything. So I mean, this is like legit. It looks like a good comic book. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I'm the writer. I did a very little actual artwork on this project. So this is all Sergio Rios. He's the main interior artist here, but I did the coloring, the lettering, and kind of all the other stuff, design work.
This is definitely sweet stuff, man. Oh, look at this. This is what I was telling you, man. Look at the stuff. So you get this package right here. You got your dossiers. Look at this. You got pictures of the original toys. That's amazing. And what I really liked was over here where you got the inner workings of the stuff. I mean, that's some highly detailed, creative stuff. I mean, I know it's not real, you could just draw anything, but you got to make it look good. You can't just make it look like spaghetti. You got to make it look like it's actually really gears and wiring.
Yeah, so that particular pinup's by, he's another Chattanooga guy, Travis Knight. This is probably going to date this discussion, but there was a Cracker Barrel logo kind of fiasco.
Yeah.
And Travis did a Nosferatu style Cracker Barrel logo that was it was all over my.
Yeah. I know exactly what it is. I know which one it is. Yeah. He did it. That's awesome.
Sharing it and everything. It was pretty wild, but yeah, awesome. Travis is awesome.
You're watching 757 Hustler Show. We are at Morphodroids. We're on their Kickstarter right now. With me tonight is Keith Finch. We're talking about the Kickstarter going on right now. We've talked about the comic. We've seen the ad. Look at this creative team behind this project. Look at this. This is like a whole full movie cast. Look at this. Look at that rock star. The first one right there. We got Keith Finch, writer, colorist, letterer, designer. So hold on 1 second. Space Case Collectibles, man. Hello. Thank you, Space Case. Space Case was with us the other night. He was watching us. We were talking about Morphodroids. Space Case, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, so we got Keith. Okay, Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller is the one that you just said about the
Ryan did the cover.
Yeah, Ryan did the cover. Sergio Rios. What do you do?
He's the main interior artist.
That's great. How's this work, man? How's this work? Do you reach out to these artists? Hey, I'm doing this project. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yeah, I'll jump on. I'll do this. Or
yeah, pretty much. I mean, the majority of them I've never met in person. So the bulk of them are people that I've either known from, like during COVID, I was really big in the cartoonist kayfabe group. Still am kind of, but a lot of these folks are from there. There's a handful of folks that I knew from doing Transformers related fan.
So a lot of these guys already have drawn Transformers, and
some of them, yeah. Some of them were. This was new. Like John Bergen did a backup story, and his style is very energetic and exuberant and cartoony. He told me he struggled with doing robots, but I would have never known it when I saw the work he did because it's pretty killer. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just, hey, I'm doing this project. This is what it's about. Are you interested? And then we kind of work out, the details from there.
That is awesome, man. And where are we at right now? We got issue 1.
This is issue 1 of the first arc is 6 issues. I've got them all plotted out. The first 3 are mostly written. Of course, as you're working through things will evolve, but the bulk of them are there.
So let's explain for people who don't know what a Kickstarter are, because we got people that watch the channel that they don't do comic books and whatever. Yeah. They're here for the other nonsense. And so a Kickstarter is like I got an idea, and if you help me kickstart the idea with cash or money, of course, this is what I want to do. This is what I plan to do. And sometimes do you have tiers, right? Sometimes they have tiers. If you kick in a certain amount, we'll give you, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, right? So
yeah, that's absolutely it.
Oh, okay. Right here, back to this project. So
the book is, I would say, 95% complete. So, if you're concerned about, there's not been any work done on this and you're paying for the creation of the book, that's not really the case here. What I'm looking to get support for is the printing and the shipping related to getting
the actual paper copy, physical copy. Yeah, and that's pretty cool, because a lot of people could get away with just, it's a digital copy, but to make it into an actual paper book, that shows passion. You know what I'm saying? It shows you're going the extra step. I like that.
And there's nothing, I don't want to, put down digital books. There's a place for that. There's people who really enjoy that. But I'm old school. I like a paper book that I can take with me. I can take to a convention. People can sign it. That's one of the fun things with.
You like smelling them? It's okay. You can say it. You like smelling them. It's all right. We're all comic book nerds here.
That's one of the fun things of a project like this, where you've got so many people contributing to it, is if you go to Heroes Con or something, you're probably going to run into 2 or 3 people who worked on this project and can get it signed by them.
That is awesome, man. So we got like 20 people working on this? What do you say offhand? About 20 people behind this project?
There's a little over 20 people who've contributed at some, I had people who did pinups, the main artist, and then, there's the people who did the character designs. There's the people who did, I did technical illustrations inside for things that I needed to look like a patent type drawing. So, yeah, 20 plus people.
That's like almost like a cast of, you know what I'm saying? You got it. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's pretty awesome, man. So without spoiling anything, man, what's the long-term goal, brother? What's the long-term goal with Morphodroids? We're looking at toys. I mean, you could be honest. Everybody's got hopes and dreams. What's the,
I mean, I would love for it to, somebody to say, hey, this would make a great cartoon, or this, if you're talking about the blue sky thinking, that would be, it's turned into a major motion picture.
Yeah. Everything we watch in the theaters now is either based off a comic book or a video game.
Yeah. Right now we've got the comic, and then 80stees.com has a line of t-shirts that we put together. A lot of those designs kind of are going to hint at future storylines. You'll see a lot of South American type influenced artwork there. So yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun with it, and you make the book and hope for the best, and if anything else comes out of it, then that's great. But we're having fun making the book.
Yeah, and speaking of which, like what you just said, for those toy guys out there, there's an 80s product, another robot 80s product, RoboForce, that Nacelle Toys got the rights to, and bigger company, but they're doing the same thing you're doing. You know what I'm saying? They just happen to have the finances, to do it at a larger scale. But they did the same thing. They rebooted the 80s toys. They got a cartoon. They're doing a whole universe. And are there any other products? You don't have to say what they are, but are there any other IPs that you got your eye on, or you're like, yeah, this is next?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I don't want to do my virtual hat, but yeah, there's a.
Give us a little flavor. Give us a little flavor. Just yes or no? They're from the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. But hey, you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. If you're here on the replay, say hello in the comments. We're hanging out with Keith Finch, talking Morphodroids. That's right. Morphodroids are back, baby. Check this out, man. This is issue number 1. This looks sweet. This looks really, really good, man. This gives me the feeling of like fun Transformers. You know what I'm saying?
That's the hope.
Like when I see this, I see a comic book, Saturday morning cartoon feel like I'm about to see a good episode.
That's the hope, and it would be dishonest if I said Transformers wasn't an influence on this, but
yeah, I mean,
on the surface, yes, this looks very Transformers, but from a storyline standpoint, I'm pulling from X-Files as much.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, even the Pierre Kelly stopped by. He said Pierre Kelly said they look fantastic. Yeah, they really do. They really do. I was whoring this the other night, man. I was whoring the pictures, everything, the toys. I get excited. And I like to talk about stuff that I like. I don't like to talk about stuff I don't like. Hence the low views. But there's let me see what I got it right here.
Life's too short to spend time on.
Yeah. I'll admit, I was in my 20s, rock star, angry, blah blah blah. You get older, you're like, bro, you gotta take it slow. You make more, you take it slow. So that is awesome, man. So that's awesome. So the Kickstarter is live till October
3rd.
Remind me again.
October 3rd.
October 3rd. Speaking of October 3rd, let me take a breather real quick. Speaking of October 3rd, guess who's back?
Finally, the wait is over. The Cowboy Cactus in Yorktown, Virginia presents Dirty Toys, performing live. Party rock songs all night long. When's the last time you got dirty? Dirty Toys, performing live at the Cowboy Cactus. Don't miss out. Friday, October 3rd, Dirty Toys, performing live.
It's Friday, October 3rd, and October 3rd is the last day for the Kickstarter for Morphodroids. Ah, man, it's great. That's great. Are you already envisioning the cartoon, the animated series? Like, are you already seeing it? You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself. Right now, I just want to make a really awesome comic that folks are going to get a lot out of and want to come back for more.
What's the plan on the book? Are we doing like a limited series? Or are we just going to keep going until it ends? Or is it like, a limited run, then another story?
The plan would be, let's get issue 1, get it out to everybody who backed it. Then we start cranking on issue 2, and then get through issue 6. Normally, that would be where at the end of that, you've got a complete story. You package that up. That becomes, a thick book. And then, you kind of reevaluate, see where you're at. And if there's been a, good demand, then I've got more stories in me.
Nice. Now, Kickstarter is, if you don't make your goal, it doesn't happen, correct?
You get nothing.
You get nothing. And the people who already kicked in get their money back. They get their money refunded back.
Actually, the way Kickstarter works is they don't collect your money until the end of the campaign. So if it doesn't meet the goal, then they don't collect it. There's nothing to send back. Kind of a no harm, no foul. Just the existential torment and dread of all the creators who worked on the project, and it didn't come together on Kickstarter the first time. But yeah, that's kind of the way it works. So if people are kind of like, I'm not sure about this, you have until October the 3rd if you wanted to go ahead and back it and say, come back on the 2nd and reevaluate where you're at.
Now, what if somebody maybe October 4th happens to click on this video? I'm like, oh man, I missed out on this. Can they still somehow purchase this or add to contribute?
At that point, I've got it set up where October the 3rd is the deadline. Of course, if the project's met its funding goal, I'm going to print more than what we need to fulfill the campaign. So
I ain't saying, he said I don't say no. I don't say no to money.
Yeah, the only I think the one thing that I did do very intentionally on this campaign was I'm limiting the physical rewards to people in the United States. Our postal situation internationally has kind of been a bit of a mess lately, and as a first-time Kickstarter creator, just want to make sure that this one goes great. Everybody who backs it feels good at the end. So start building up a really good reputation going into the next one.
Yeah, and Kickstarter is a legit platform. You know what I'm saying? Kickstarter is a legit platform. We helped Dakota Johnson doing his Hunter comic book. We also helped Daniel Benedict doing his Fall of Grayskull, Masters of the Universe Fall of Grayskull 2 sequel. They hit their goals too. They had like a in the thousands. You know what I'm saying? It was like a 16, 20,000. I don't know. It was crazy. They made it. I love supporting. And a lot of people out there don't even read comic books, don't even nothing, but they're like, yeah, I'll help them out. So and like I always say, you don't have to be into this. You could be like I said this the other night with the Morphodroids. Morphodroids may not be for you. This campaign may not be for you, but just a simple sharing this video, sharing the Kickstarter link, just sharing it shows hundreds of other people, and maybe somebody be like, oh, like I said earlier, I'm into this. This is what I like. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's pretty cool, man. So what else we got lined up, man? We're just promoting the Kickstarter, waiting to get going.
Just promoting the Kickstarter. I mean, I've got a couple of little projects. I'm doing like pinups and that kind of thing for other people's stuff. But yeah, if I can, if we're on the hustle show, I need to pimp out a couple of things in the.
Hold on, brother. Let me put you full screen. You can promote all the way you want. All you, man.
So if you are like George mentioned, a person who's not really into comics, but you want to support the campaign, you can do that. There is a way for you to just make a donation. I'm not here, this isn't a GoFundMe necessarily, but if that you're compelled to do so, be my guest. Aside from, there's the $8 digital only version. You can get the $25 print copy of the book plus a digital version. There's a couple of add-ons that we have. One is you can pay to have yourself or a loved one added as a cameo style character in the next issue.
Oh, nice.
So if you've got someone in your family who's a big comics nerd and they would really love to be in a comic, you can have that with the second issue of the book.
I think I hear my birthday present.
You would make one of the cameos is you can be on a kind of mural billboard in the middle of town. You would be
maybe a podcaster on somebody's screen.
Yeah, maybe it's an ad for your podcast.
Yeah.
And then the one you're showing here, I do these homage covers. So if you're a creator and you're like, hey, I want you to do a homage cover for my book, I can do that. Or if you're just like,
I never knew that. I never knew that people like, I'm saying, people drawing an homage cover. Homage cover is like, let's say I want Batman to be part of the Avengers, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, like or whatever. Or my character, I saw this at the cons where, like, let's say I created a character, and then I go to some of the artists. I'm just gonna use Todd McFarlane, and I see Todd McFarlane. I'm like, hey Todd, can you draw me? Right? Can you draw me with Spawn or something like that? I mean,
yeah.
And they do the different, and they do with the original logos from the comic books, and they make it look similar and stuff. A lot of people are into that, into the variants and then homage covers, and a lot of people don't even read comic books. They just like the covers.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is, you're basically buying a piece of custom artwork. So, it's, if you wanted to frame it or, draw something better on the back, you can do that. It's yours to do with as you wish. But, we do have some retailer packs here. I'm a proponent of the importance of comic shops within our kind of corner of geekdom. So, getting my book into comic shops is important. It's not the most lucrative avenue because you're selling them at wholesale pricing. But, the thought of a kid in some far off place just walking into a comic shop and being sucked into this world that we're creating.
Maybe, I don't know. Let me ask you this. Do people like independent comic book guys as yourself, like, let's say, like you just mentioned, I can't send, like, maybe for advertising, I can't send 500 comic books single to to each shop. But what have you, like, do people do like a cardboard stand, and you could put like your code in the corner, like, oh, new comic book, and then people could just go beep? Like, do people do stuff like that these days? I mean, with technology, you could just like scan on your phone and go straight to the book.
You're saying within the comic shop?
Yeah. I mean, like within long distance comic shops, and like in small towns and stuff. They're not big city ones. But
Probably the comic shops would probably not want to do that because it's diverting from.
They get their cut. They get their cut.
Okay, they get their cut.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're paying for the cardboard promotion.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think there's probably a way to work that. I actually saw a Kickstarter earlier in the week where they had a really smart way of getting engagement with comic shops. Basically, if you spent $25, you got a digital copy of the book, plus you told them what comic shop you went to, and you got a $25 gift card. So basically, they're the book, the PDF version's a freebie, but they're creating a connection with that comic shop, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. And I want to wish you all the best of luck, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This looked really, really good. I'm actually going to reread it later tonight. I was so excited doing other stuff, and you know how it is. Yeah, I'm trying to prep for the show, and I had to do 100 million other things too at the same time. And I wanted to read it just to ask questions. I wanted to pick your brain. I'll do that another time. After its release, we'll do a read through, and it's like a pick your brain. I got to read it. I ain't gonna lie. I got to read it. It's fucking good. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I got into it. I got into all the materials and the conspiracy stuff. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I got burnt out on Transformers. You know what I'm saying? And I said this the other day. Transformers will always be a better toy product, but I think the GoBots cartoon was a better animated show, story-wise. It was world building. It was world building from day one. Transformers, it took to season 2 to kind of expand the universe. It was always about getting energy. That's it. Plot A, plot B, energy. GoBots from day one has an ongoing arc. As much as I hate fucking Scooter, but as an adult, I appreciate it more. And that's why when this came out, like I said earlier, I'm like, Morpho what? I'm like, I'm not into Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, then you see the ad and everything like that. I mean, I want to wish you the best of luck. Where can we reach you, man? Do we just go straight to the Kickstarter, right? Go straight to the Kickstarter. I'm going to put the link in the description. I put it in the comments. If you watch this on the replay, get there. Don't feel left out. It's still going to be there. We got it till October 3rd, right? We got it till October 3rd. My man likes toys. My man likes comic books. My man supported other people. You know what I'm saying? Now he's got a vision, right? He's got a vision. He says, hey, man, just like me, I'm like, I'm going on this journey. Who's coming with me? He got 19 other people to help him out, right? So 19 other people, come on. They can't be crazy. Maybe you should ask them to back it also. That's part of the plan. They're going to draw, but you got to back it. Man, I want to thank you for being here. I want to wish you the best of luck for everything. And definitely, anytime you want to come back on, anytime you want to come back and promote anything else, you guys are more than welcome. If you want to come back with some of the artists to talk about the artwork and everything, we sometimes get some artists here on the channel. We have my friend Locke, Monkey Love. He works for Marvel. He does a lot of the trading cards for Marvel and Star Wars. So, I mean, it's fun. We had him here one night, and he's like, yeah, he never shows his face. It's always his hands because he's drawing. And he's like, yeah, so Star Wars just hired me. I got to do 5 cards, and I got to come up with 5 different environments for each planet. So I was just like, Tatooine, sand, Jawas, and then the motherfucker goes and makes thousands of dollars. I'm like, hey, I gave you all those ideas. But
Well,
Keith, man, thank you. Anything else you want to say before we jump off of here?
No, thanks for having me on. As far as people finding me on the internets, right now, Morphodroids.com goes directly to the Kickstarter. Once the Kickstarter wraps, then it'll be going back to fullservicecomics.com. So that's kind of our home on the internet.
Awesome, brother. Once again, man, look out for Morphodroids. The Kickstarter is live now to October 3rd. I want to thank Keith Finch for being here. Support. Remember, you don't have to put money into support. We appreciate it, though. But just sharing, man. Just click share. Even if you watch this video, man. Oh, yeah, by the way, like and subscribe. That helps the algorithm. I don't like selling that part, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. So thank you, brother. Stick around. I'm going to talk to you backstage, man. Wave bye to everybody. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Yay. My name is George. You've been watching the 75's Hush Show, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.